Introduction. Hello ladies and gentlemen. This presentation, prepared by Pushpesh Naik and delivered by Alisha, provides an insightful exploration of the book, How to Talk to Anyone by Leil Lowndes, which offers 92 little tricks for achieving significant success in relationships. Published in 1998, How to Talk to Anyone is an essential resource for enhancing your conversational skills and becoming more adept in social interactions, regardless of the context. Leil Lowndes equips readers with an array of techniques and insights that empower individuals to gain confidence in professional settings, personal life, and social gatherings. About the author. Leil Lowndes is a distinguished author and public speaker dedicated to enhancing communication skills. With decades of experience, she has identified many subtle and subconscious cues that influence relationships. Her other acclaimed works include How to Instantly Connect with Anyone, 2009, and How to Be a People Magnet, 2002. The benefit to you. Learn how to present yourself effectively and avoid common conversational pitfalls. Life involves numerous interactions and presentations that might be challenging. As inherently social beings, improving communication skills is vital. Leil Lowndes has committed her career to helping individuals become proficient communicators. Through observation, research, and attention to detail, she has identified habits that either hinder or enhance conversation. Over the years, she has published books filled with practical advice to help people navigate everyday communication challenges. Engage with these fundamental and advanced techniques to enhance your ability to manage both casual conversations and high-pressure meetings. You will find it rewarding. First impressions are crucial, so ensure you smile and exhibit welcoming body language. Chapter number 1. First impressions are pivotal. Therefore, ensure you smile and exhibit welcoming body language. Let us be realistic. First impressions hold significant value. When meeting someone for the first time, your appearance and behavior create a lasting impact, influencing future interactions. The initial point of contact is your face, where a positive first impression begins. Perhaps your mother advised you to always smile when meeting new individuals. While it may have seemed trivial, she was indeed correct. A smile can significantly affect whether you leave a favorable impression. However, people can discern an insincere smile, so allow your smile to develop naturally, making it appear more personal and genuine. Research indicates that a natural smile is even more critical for women. In professional settings, women who smile more gradually are perceived as more credible. Additionally, avoid presenting the same smile to everyone in a group, as this can be off-putting. Vary your smile as you engage with different individuals. Your eyes also play an essential role in making a positive impression. It is well established that maintaining consistent eye contact helps garner both respect and rapport. To enhance a relationship, sustain eye contact with the individual, even if they are not speaking, and only break it when necessary. With facial expressions addressed, we can proceed to body language, which significantly affects how others perceive you. Initially, recognize that a stranger need not be treated as such. When meeting someone for the first time, greet them as if they are an old acquaintance. Along with a warm smile, face them directly, indicating your full attention. Additionally, to maintain a positive impression, avoid fidgeting, which involves controlling your hand gestures. Although it may seem peculiar, studies suggest that touching your face while speaking diminishes credibility. Therefore, remain composed and refrain from touching your face. Effective introductions and familiar gestures facilitate productive conversations. Prior to meeting someone for the first time, it is common to experience anxiety about potential topics of discussion or shared interests. Fortunately, a well-executed introduction can often initiate an engaging dialogue. The most straightforward approach to achieving this is to request an introduction from a mutual acquaintance or the host of the event. Alternatively, you may inquire about the individual through a mutual acquaintance, providing you with a conversation starter. Additionally, positioning yourself nearby and listening for an opportunity to join the conversation can be effective. A classic method to invite conversation is to carry an interesting item, such as a vintage pocket watch or a unique accessory. This creates an opportunity for someone to inquire about it, leading to a natural conversation. If you are the host, facilitate introductions by sharing one or two intriguing facts about each participant, encouraging follow-up questions and interaction. Once introductions are made and the conversation is underway, focus on maintaining a suitable demeanor. Avoid monopolizing the conversation with lengthy, uninteresting anecdotes. Instead, pay attention to the other person's responses and tone. Align your mood and tone with theirs to foster engagement. For example, if they are smiling and using lively gestures, reciprocate in kind. Conversely, if the setting is more subdued, adapt accordingly. When an opportunity arises to join a conversation, express confidence and positivity. This approach is more crucial than the specific words chosen, as it avoids creating a negative first impression through inappropriate or unpleasant comments. Enhance your conversational skills by initiating engaging discussions and maintaining dialogue. Chapter number 3. Enhance your conversational skills by initiating engaging discussions and maintaining dialogue. Contrary to the belief that small talk is trivial, it plays a significant role in both professional and personal interactions. Effective small talk can be pivotal in establishing rapport or deterring connections. If you find your small talk abilities lacking, consider preparing for common questions you might encounter. Typical inquiries could include, "Where are you from?" or "What do you do?" These questions, due to their routine nature, often receive dull responses. Instead of brief answers like "London" or "marketing," be ready to provide more context. Sustain the conversation by introducing an intriguing fact or story that opens the door to another subject. For instance, if you hail from Washington, D.C., you might mention its design by the same planner who crafted Paris. This can lead to a broader discussion on travel. Additionally, prioritize active listening and encourage your conversation partner to elaborate. Surprisingly, an effective way to be perceived as a great conversationalist is to speak less and focus on your partner. They are likely to appreciate your interest and continue sharing. A useful technique to maintain dialogue is to use pauses to revisit the last point your partner made, encouraging them to expand further. This approach can lead to insightful exchanges. A simple way to gain conversational credibility is to identify someone in the group with an interesting story and introduce them effectively. This not only entertains the group, but also allows the storyteller to shine. Ensure the story is appropriate and not shared in confidence to avoid any discomfort. When speaking, refrain from disclosing information that might reflect poorly on you. During initial interactions, there is a tendency to reveal personal details or vulnerabilities. This should be avoided unless you have already established a strong impression, as sharing secrets prematurely might raise concerns about what else you might be concealing. Exercise careful consideration when offering praise, ensuring it is both restrained and timely. Key point number 5. Exercise careful consideration when offering praise, ensuring it is both restrained and timely. Praise is beneficial, correct? In principle, yes, but it may have unintended effects if the recipient perceives insincerity. Hence, it is prudent to offer praise indirectly. One method to achieve this is by relaying positive feedback through a mutual acquaintance. By engaging a third party to convey the commendation, both the recipient and the intermediary will feel gratified. Similarly, if someone requests you to deliver a compliment, ensure you fulfill this request. You will discover that conveying positive messages can be rewarding in itself. If you must deliver a compliment directly, refrain from being overly explicit. Consider integrating it into a casual comment. For example, you might ask someone, "How are you?" Then with a brief glance continue, "You seem to be doing well." Alternatively, subtly convey respect by soliciting their advice, such as a restaurant recommendation. This gesture indicates admiration for their discernment. Should you find it necessary to be more forthright, remember that a small compliment can have a significant impact. Generally, individuals feel their efforts go largely unrecognized. By simply acknowledging someone's good performance, you can significantly enhance their day. Bear in mind that immediate praise is even more impactful. Instead of delaying for a week, express your commendation at the moment of the positive action. Immediate praise is particularly effective following a presentation, as public speaking is challenging for many. Even if you must slightly exaggerate, your colleague will appreciate immediate acknowledgement of their efforts. With those closest to you, you can be more specific in your commendations. To convey a meaningful compliment to someone special, emphasize a particular trait you genuinely admire. It could be their stylish appearance, remarkable perseverance, or impeccable charm. When your compliment is sincere and genuine, it will undoubtedly be valued. Maintain professionalism in your relationships, particularly when it involves favors. Chapter number 6. Maintain professionalism in your relationships, particularly when it involves favors. We have discussed the foundational aspects of effective communication and building rapport. Now let us explore advanced strategies to enhance your interpersonal skills. A straightforward approach to enhance your relationships is to exhibit greater consideration. Initially, recognize that individuals occasionally require the opportunity to express frustrations, especially after a challenging day. Exercise patience, allowing them to articulate their concerns and demonstrate empathy. This approach aids in alleviating their stress, creating an opportunity to transition the dialogue to your own topics of interest. Secondly, ensure that conversations are concluded appropriately. Consider a scenario where your friend is narrating an engaging story when a waiter interrupts to take your order. Once the interruption is addressed, promptly return your attention to your friend, encouraging her to continue from where she paused. The third recommendation is to recognize that discretion is sometimes necessary. Everyone experiences moments they would prefer remain unnoticed, such as an inadvertent and awkward occurrence in the presence of others. However, it is not necessary to acknowledge it verbally. The considerate course of action is to proceed with the conversation as if it did not occur. This approach will be greatly appreciated by your friend. The final aspect of considered behavior involves mastering the art of performing favors. You are likely familiar with the positive feeling derived from assisting someone. However, if someone demands immediate attention for a favor, it may appear inconsiderate. Avoid making this error yourself. Similarly, if you extend a favor to someone, refrain from immediately requesting something in return. Instead, allow a reasonable interval to pass, demonstrating that your gesture was rooted in friendship. Subsequently, you may introduce your own request. Lastly, acknowledge that we all maintain a mental account of the support we provide to friends and colleagues, so ensure you express adequate gratitude and appreciation to those who consistently support you. Maintaining a professional demeanor is essential for career advancement. Chapter number 7. Maintaining a professional demeanor is essential for career advancement. For those with ambition, seeking opportunities to impress superiors and propel one's career forward is a common pursuit. A fundamental strategy to achieve this is to consistently convey professionalism. When communicating with your supervisor, be concise and direct. Individuals in positions of authority appreciate straightforwardness. Additionally, engage your listeners' attention by starting sentences with "you," as this encourages them to focus on your message. Similarly, when delivering news, consider the likely reaction of your audience and tailor your approach accordingly. For instance, if you anticipate a positive response, deliver the news with enthusiasm. If the news is less favorable, convey it with empathy. Furthermore, consider the interests of your listener. When meeting a potential client, go beyond stating your job title. Explain the impact of your work. As an accountant, describe how you optimize financial strategies for clients. As a hairdresser, highlight your ability to recommend styles that enhance a client's appearance and personality. However, there are common pitfalls to avoid when striving to sound professional. Here are several key ones. Firstly, if you discover a shared interest with someone, remain composed rather than reacting with exaggerated surprise. Exhibiting calmness in such instances will likely leave a positive impression. Secondly, steer clear of clichés. Thirdly, refrain from asking, "What do you do?" Instead, consider asking, "How do you spend most of your time?" This approach respects those who may not wish to discuss their occupation, but are open to sharing their passions. Lastly, it is important to remember that true professionals refrain from teasing, embarrassing others, or making jokes at their expense. Maintain control by clearly distinguishing between business and personal activities, and always uphold honesty. Chapter 8 emphasizes the importance of maintaining control by distinguishing between business and leisure and upholding honesty. Advancing in your career is challenging, and reaching the top introduces the added challenge of maintaining your position. A valuable piece of advice for leaders is to keep business discussions separate from personal time. Even during a business lunch, refrain from engaging in work-related discussions until after dessert, particularly if the topic is sensitive. It is important to avoid spoiling the atmosphere with uncomfortable business conversations. The same principle applies to social gatherings, which are excellent for networking, but less suitable for serious business discussions. Keep the conversation light and schedule a separate meeting for more formal discussions. When the time is right for business, always prioritize honesty while presenting your best self. In client meetings or pitches, individuals often err by focusing solely on the client's benefits and neglecting to address mutual gains. While this might seem courteous, it may appear insincere. Instead, practice transparency by clearly outlining how both parties will benefit. This approach helps prevent any perception of deceit. Do not fear making mistakes. Some businesses actually value the opportunity to rectify errors, as it allows them to exceed customer expectations. If a mistake occurs, such as dispatching the incorrect product, express your apologies and take additional steps, such as offering a gift card or free shipping on the next order. This approach can help retain the customer, who might even promote the excellent service received. A final piece of advice for making a positive impression is to be the first to applaud or express an opinion. Leaders initiate action and do not wait for guidance. In group settings, you can subtly and effectively position yourself as a leader by being the first to applaud or share your perspective. Preparing for meetings is beneficial. Chapter number 9. Preparing for meetings is beneficial. To enhance your likelihood of conducting a successful meeting with an unfamiliar individual, a bit of preparation can be significantly advantageous. Initially, aim to ensure that you always have the appropriate remarks to convey. Research indicates that individuals with an extensive and varied vocabulary are perceived as more intelligent and creative. Therefore, it is advantageous to consult a thesaurus for alternative expressions to replace frequently used terms. Consider this. Acquiring a new word daily for 2 months can result in being perceived as an astute and innovative communicator. Retaining relevant quotations is also indicative of wisdom. When you encounter an insightful quote, document it and revisit it until it is committed to memory. When the opportunity arises to utilize it, it will leave a strong impression. Preparation is particularly beneficial when focused on the individuals you will be meeting. For example, if attending a trade conference or a similar event, familiarize yourself with industry-specific terminology by reviewing trade publications or websites. Demonstrating knowledge of current critical issues will impress others. Possessing such insider knowledge enhances the likelihood of being integrated into the core group and receiving more respect than an outsider might. Similarly, when making a significant purchase, such as a car, understanding the terminology and intricate details can result in a more favorable offer from the salesperson. This approach is equally applicable when traveling for leisure or business. Familiarity with local customs and history reduces the risk of committing social faux pas or causing embarrassment. Consider the experience of a businessman who learned this lesson the hard way. He was on the verge of finalizing a deal in Brazil when he inadvertently used the unbeknownst to him. In Brazil, this gesture carries an entirely different and offensive connotation. While such information may not be readily available in standard travel guides, it illustrates how easily miscommunication can derail a meeting or jeopardize a deal. Thus, it is imperative to undertake thorough preparation to ensure smooth proceedings. Effective phone skills can compensate for the absence of visual cues. Chapter number 10. Effective phone skills can compensate for the absence of visual cues. For many individuals, engaging in conversation over the phone is not the preferred method. Some studies indicate that individuals lose 30% of their voice's energy during phone conversations. However, there are certain techniques you can employ to ensure positive feedback. When answering the phone, do so in a clear and professional manner. Upon the caller identifying themselves, extend a warm and welcoming greeting. This approach fosters a positive atmosphere from the outset. It is important to remember that on the phone, individuals cannot perceive your facial expressions, body language, or gestures. Thus, it is essential to convey these visual cues verbally. Instead of merely nodding, articulate phrases such as I'm pleased to hear that, or please continue, to convey your engagement in the conversation. Additionally, using a person's name can help maintain their attention, as individuals often respond positively to hearing their own name. Exercise caution in face-to-face interactions, as frequent use of a person's name can seem insincere. When conducting business over the phone, it is prudent to inquire if it is a convenient time for the other party to engage in conversation, proceeding only if they have the time. It is not uncommon to encounter difficulties getting past a persistent assistant. A strategy you might consider is, instead of requesting to speak with Miss Smith, simply asking, "Is she in today?" This conveys familiarity and implies that you warrant a prompt response. If you are the individual screening calls, there is a respectful method for declining conversations. Instruct your staff to inform the caller they will be connected shortly. After a brief hold, have your staff express apologies and advise the caller that you are unavailable. This approach helps minimize any personal offense. With these strategies, you can maximize the effectiveness of every phone conversation. Maximize your experience at every event by making a notable entrance and taking the initiative. Chapter number 11. Maximize your experience at every event by making a notable entrance and taking the initiative. Many individuals attend gatherings primarily for enjoyment. While this is perfectly acceptable, you can approach it with a more strategic mindset. Here are some strategies to engage and leave a lasting impression on influential attendees. As always, the initial impression is crucial. You've likely heard about performers having remarkable stage presence, correct? You can exude a similar allure and capture attention by preparing adequately and mastering the art of entering a room. The technique for an impactful entrance is straightforward. Before entering, take a moment at the doorway to observe the room. Once you have assessed the environment and find it satisfactory, proceed with a confident smile. This kind of impactful entrance is certain to leave a positive impression on those present. Upon entering, take the initiative by approaching the most intriguing individual in the room. If you wait for someone to approach you, you may find yourself on the sidelines throughout the evening, missing opportunities to connect with influential people. When you have someone's full attention, it is time to apply the insights gained from previous chapters. Additionally, here is an extra piece of advice. Be conscious of your hand movements. Avoid gestures that may subconsciously appear threatening, such as displaying your knuckles or the back of your hand. Instead, maintain an open and welcoming posture with your palms facing outward. Remember to listen attentively and mentally note what the other person shares, as it could be beneficial in the future. This includes personal details and any other information that seems significant to them. By referencing one of these details in a subsequent conversation, you are likely to make a strong impression. You have just listened to our presentation on How to Talk to Anyone by Leil Lowndes, narrated by Brian Dozy. Final summary. Let's summarize the presentation and discuss key takeaways. The essential takeaway is that with a fundamental understanding of human nature and common behaviors, one can enhance communication skills and strengthen relationships. Recognizing the significance of making a favorable first impression, employing positive and approachable body language, providing effective praise, and attending meetings well prepared with valuable insights is crucial. With knowledge and refined techniques, you will not only become more comfortable and confident in your interactions, but also expand your network and advance professionally. Here's a practical suggestion for immediate application. Visualize positive habits. Before attending a meeting, imagine yourself smiling, establishing eye contact, and demonstrating positive body language. Visualization can serve as a self-fulfilling prophecy, contributing to a successful meeting. Additionally, be mindful of the valuable insights people share about themselves. A helpful strategy is to note interesting facts on the back of a person's business card immediately after a conversation. This way, during your next encounter, you can impress them by recalling one or two personal details. If you think it's a valuable life lesson, then please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.